So welcome to the making of Five Nights at Freddy's. Today I've got Cole here, I got Vega Films here.
Hi.
Was Jeremy Fitzgerald, Freddy, and Foxy in the FNAF movie. And cinematography as well. Today we're going to be recounting our experiences of making this movie. Yeah. It's been a while. Not since I've last uploaded, but that's true as well. It's been a while since we've been working on this movie.
It's definitely been a long ride.
This feels like a YouTube apology video.
We're gonna explain the, how we made the movie.
Overview, yeah. It's like a podcast, except it's less degenerate. This has been a long time in the making. We've been through 2 major drafts of this movie.
There's been more, but the 2 are the ones that really matter.
There's one rewrite. That was like fall 2022 and carried into the early months of 2023. But the first ever idea of this film came from 2021.
Something like that, like later middle school, but not 8th grade.
I was in 6th grade, maybe 7th grade, and we had 3 writers. It's a 3-man team. It's me, it's Vega, and the 3rd guy.
We don't talk about him, but we will for this video.
We do, yeah.
We'll just call him Colin.
Colin. That sounds like a really perfect name for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so his name is. We're gonna call him Colin. We were in a speech class together for neurodivergent people, special people. I just decided, you know what? FNAF is cool. We're gonna make a movie.
We didn't think it would go anywhere.
I'm gonna email the 2 people that I know in this class and say, what role do you guys want? And that was the early days, We started writing it into a script.
It was cringy, to say the least, looking back on it. It had good intentions, but, yeah.
You guys might have been able to see this movie if I made it back then, if we didn't have setbacks. But it was basically about this guy Mike, right? And he gets fired from his job. Looking back, it wasn't great because instead of finding clues, the story is revealed to him
by the Shadow animatronics.
By Shadow Freddy, who basically shows up to him and he says,
there's also this useless character named Brody that appeared.
Oh yeah. So you know how Jeremy in the FNAF movie, in our FNAF movie I should say, was kind of Mike's friend, the side friend, the I don't know, sidekick. So this is like the Jeremy to Mike. He had no value and he died on night 1. He was a bit of a later inclusion. Oh, there's also Ned too. Remember Ned?
Oh yeah, I don't remember a whole lot about Ned, to be perfectly honest.
There wasn't a lot to him. There's no real resolution either. Basically there's 7 nights in this movie, which I don't know why I even thought, what possessed me to think that 7 nights would fit into a 2-hour movie. He survives and there's no real ending. There's no character development after that. It's lacking all the things that the current movie draft has.
So, that was sort of the main flaw of the script, was not really on our part. I would say we're much better writers now.
I'm thinking,
but we did make mistakes, but a lot of the cringe factor, if you will, came from Colin. He shipped some animatronics together, sort of like in fan depictions.
For some reason, the animatronics
talk,
interact
a lot.
They have sentient talk.
They had 0 horror factor whatsoever.
There's a TV in Pirates Cove. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
He added this thing called a burn scene.
I don't know.
Which is where Mike and Bonnie were in a roast battle, and Colin says a burn scene plays after they go and have a yo mama battle or some stupid shit. It was just a mess.
It was yeah.
Not to say that the final draft was also not a mess. We had a bit of a falling out with this Colin guy.
He started being a bit of a jerk to certain members of the team. There was no team back then. It was us 3. Yeah. So
Kai had some influence on the script. You guys don't know who he is, but he's my friend. And he did some of the cool shots for the movie. Colin also left school as well. kind of cut contact with everyone from the school, right? So,
we haven't heard from him.
We
ever.
We didn't really touch that for a while. I was kind of, you probably know this if you're a longtime Daniac Films fan, but I was just kind of focusing on making random little collabs and stuff at that time,
So we eventually came back to it and we rewrote the script.
From the ground up.
But the one major rewrite was the one that we made the film out of.
The thought process behind it was we came back to the script and we noticed like, wow, Colin has put so many cringe things like everywhere and we don't even know what was his influence anymore. If it wasn't for Colin, we
probably wouldn't have realized how bad it was.
We would have stuck with the original one and then it would have turned out really bad. So,
and of course your animation improved as well.
Yeah. There were some changes. You probably can know this if you watched the movie. If you haven't, you should. Otherwise, like, this whole video has no meaning to you.
Also, if you just happen to, you should probably subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and comment down below for the algorithm.
Subscribe for FNAF 2, which is coming out in a couple. Somewhat unintentionally actually gave this one a story.
We gave the characters personalities. We gave them like distinguishable traits, like we wanted to distinguish like what Mike was like before the bite and how he was afterwards.
Yeah, it's just more character driven rather than story action driven, and we focused on Mike's relationships with other people, and we gave more in-depth characters, and we included things like Jeremy Fitzgerald, because he's like an actual FNAF character other than just random guy named Brody.
Mike goes through an emo phase.
Like, he has a dream about his brother dying. Nightmares he used to have haunt him again. And, like, the stuff he tried to bury in his mind kind of gets brought back to the forefront of his life.
We did want to add some comedy, obviously, not to the extreme as in the first script, which...
It was a comedy action. It's like a giant fly.
It was...
Have you seen the new FNAF trailer?
We wanted it to be actually scary, but we did want some comedy. We decided to add this tourist trap type Mexican restaurant, Restaurante de Taco.
Yeah. Some people have mentioned it. It's like El Chips, which we might explore in another movie. So subscribe. I wouldn't say we were really going for horror, like straight up horror, like gut-wrenching horror. There's some gore, there's some scary parts, but like
above all else, it's a tragedy.
Some action. It
was a very surrealist film, and I think we're gonna keep going with that.
And as for the production, now obviously this is my first production. The whole thing was kind of just me learning new CGI and new like production techniques. For like half a year of filming, it was the team. There was no team. It was just Cole and I. It was Vega and I. We were the two guys just working on this movie every week and staying up late to film the night scenes, which took way longer than they should have.
Yeah, the night scenes were the most troublesome. They took a super long time. We had to stay up super late to film them.
And they were so repetitive too, so it was no fun.
It felt very monotonous.
The first half of filming wasn't as fun. It was just the same thing every week, basically. Yeah, so we started to crack down on it, and that was also the time when I started to go new high school, first semester of freshman year for me, and I took quite a lot of honors and classes. So my life was basically just school and movie. And also back then I didn't have a lot of people for the cast, so there's a lot of blank spaces because I was still figuring out friends. But as the new semester came along, that was when I started to invite other people to production. And that's also when we started to film finish up the night scenes, so we could break free from that really monotonous rut of doing those scenes, and we could do other scenes.
Remember when we were filming when Mike was showing Jeremy the tape at Freddy's?
Yeah.
And there was a storm. There just so happened to be a storm, and it was super rainy.
Yeah.
That looked really cool. I wasn't expecting that.
There were a lot of things that happened in production that are unexpected, but the thing I really like is there are a lot of things that in that movie that weren't in the script. The phone guy scene is an example. So you know that scene? A lot of people like this scene. This is one of the top fan favorites. That scene where William enters Michael's house with the spring Bonnie suit.
Love that scene.
I decided, you know what? I have a cool idea. What if William showed up and... Because they just talked in the scene before. What if he showed up and what if, they had an interaction? That was Oh, there's one more thing. The ending. We had 2 versions of the ending. The ending, the current one, the one that was final. Mike shows up to his last night on the job. He gets ambushed by Golden Freddy. All the animatronics show up, and then Evan pops out, and then they reconcile. And there's a heartwarming ending where all the souls are at rest. That was one of the more minor rewrites that we did, was changing the ending.
In the original, in that draft, Mike was actually supposed to die. He was supposed to get stuck in the Freddy suit, get spring locked, and then he died.
Don't remember what compelled me to actually have that. You know what? And it's a bad ending because it kind of just throws away all the movies building up to it. So I did the obvious choice, which I should have thought of earlier, and never rewrote that ending. Yeah, so I was the only VFX artist and editor. I spent a lot of time on that movie. Because I'd come home, I'd do the boatloads of work I got from those honors classes, and then at 7 or 8 p.m. I'd get off the homework, and then I'd spend until midnight up doing the VFX for it. And no one really knew I was doing it. I hadn't told people that I was making a movie until a lot later. So
maybe we should address the wig thing.
Your hair?
Yeah. Throughout the whole filming of that movie, my hair kept changing. So
His parents, man.
we needed to find an excuse for that. So we said he had a wig, and he kept changing out the wig.
His original hair is blonde. If you pay attention in the movie, in the bite scene, he's the Bonnie boy, actually. Jeremy Fitzgerald. You might have gotten that from some of the
I chose this to give him a little bit more of a goofy feel to sort of show the difference between Jeremy afterwards.
I know it sounds really arrogant to be to star in my own movie that I'm also doing the VFX for, but there's a reason for that. I swear, I'm not just being a pretentious prick. I'm the third. I was the third casting choice for Michael Afton. First guy was a friend I knew, middle school, from elementary school, and I asked him to do it, and he said yes, but I don't think he ever actually wanted to commit to it. I was like, maybe if I just play Mike,
it will go a lot faster.
Yeah, and because every time we film, I'll be there, so it'll be easy, because Mike has the most screen time. Originally, I was supposed to be the crying child. That's how long this has been in the production for. And then it got to a point where I looked grown up enough to portray a 20-year-old. You guys actually tore me a new one for being so young. People don't realize I'm not some Hollywood director. I have 20 friends. I have 30 people from school I can choose from. It's not like I'm actually paying these people. No one in my movie was paid at all. But mostly because I made $50.
Child labor. Most troubling scene for me, it was probably the office scenes. Different camera angles to try and make it more. And I was getting in all these weird spots trying to make it
look cramped office.
Look interesting, but
because established that set back when it was first drafted. Because I had nowhere else to go and not enough skills to make a fully 3D rendered scene. It looks nothing like the actual model I made. I was not thinking. I was sped as hell. I did not have the energy to refilm every single night scene, so I only did one, and,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. We might do a remastered version of the nights at some point, if we have extra time, on a summer or something. We're probably not going to, but I want to. I really want to make a remastered version. Stay tuned for that. In my opinion, the most troubling scene was the Bite of 83 scene.
Oh, yeah.
That was filmed in, 4 different filming sessions. The first one we did for that was with the crying child, with
we'll
Migrating Storm. Link in the description to his channel, because I know he will laugh.
We'll call him Peter as a shorthand.
And then the next one we did was with me and him and Kai and a bunch of other people. You guys probably don't know this, but the Freddy and Chica bullies are the actors of Cassidy and Phone Guy. We're gonna put masks over you two guys, and we're gonna pretend like you're not other people in the movie. So, It didn't work out great, but it was fine.
Actor for the crying child was a little bit unruly on set. We had a Fredbear plush on set with us. Tore it up. Threw it.
It's the hex plush. It's the magnetic one.
Its appendages were thrown around the room, and I had to go look for them for 20 minutes.
And then the third session to film that one scene was the physical one, and that's when Kai and I went out to a local diner nearby where I live.
And for the actual location of Freddy Fazbear's, not the office, the actual...
Like the dining hall,
the dining hall and stuff like that. That all took place at a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, we filmed this at 2 Mexican restaurants.
Yeah, there was also a lot of Mexican restaurants around where we
Support.
live. Yeah, we support. He's also Mexican.
Shout out to my Latinos in the comments.
I'm like also like 10% Mexican, so I can say shout out to my Latino brothers out there. Anyways.
It had gone through a little bit of a change while we were filming. Originally, it was a pizza place. During the first couple
scenes.
And then it got changed into a Mexican restaurant.
We also didn't really have a plan for how we're gonna film like the scenes in the dining hall, because we didn't know whether or not we could actually film there at night. So we were kind of just like putting that in the back of our brain and thinking about it later.
Yeah.
Which we did with a lot of things actually. And then eventually I talked up
the
to
manager.
We talked to her a little bit about like could we come after the building's closing and cleaning up and just film in the background. She's super supportive. She like, because she wants this restaurant to be like a relatable place for kids and like a community. So it was really cool that she allowed us film there, and
that they allowed us to film there. We were able to get everything done. There was this one part though when we were filming. My dad played Henry. You explained the instructions to him like a couple times.
Yeah.
Then he came out.
Henry.
It was probably one of the funniest things that happened on set, aside from the wind tunnel green screen.
There's tons of funny ones with Naomi and Fritz and Cassidy, because they're crazy. They're so weird.
Yeah.
You guys are watching this, obviously. Jill, I love you guys, but it's a journey. It's been a journey. If you're still watching, I'm grateful because I want to share this
Attention
with the world.
spans these days.
This in reality, this is just kind of a love letter to FNAF, to this community that we've made over the past decade. And I'm really grateful for the community, for the games, all the theories and the songs. It's just a fun community online.
Yeah.
You don't get much of that these days, honestly.
Shout out to Game Theory, Scott Coffin, obviously, Markiplier.
Yeah, this is a passion project, and it's weird seeing it done. But I'm grateful for the journey. So, thank you guys.
Thank you. Like and share, yes.
And one last thing before we go, we haven't been updating you guys a whole lot on this. Community post has been a little bit dry recently. I apologize for that. But FNAF 2 is in production, so stay tuned. We're gonna be. I'm gonna upload some announcement trailers, reveals. Thank you guys for supporting my dream of making films and this kind of thing. Supporting our dream. We've been doing this for so long. So it's nice to finally
have an outlet for it and have it finished.
Yeah, it means a lot to me. You guys are viewing my movie, leaving supportive comments. So you guys, thank you, and
catch you in the next video.
Yeah, catch you in the next video, and I promise there will be some updates on future videos and movies soon. It's too early to say, so you're gonna have to just wait and see and figure that out for yourself.
All right.
See ya.
Insert outro music.